Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School of Science. My name is Luke and this is the post-match reaction for West Ham versus Everton. West Ham 0, Everton 0. Now I've got some notes here, so I'm just going to go off these and sort of make my own little interpretation as we go through the notes. So this really feels like a 2 points lost game. West Ham, they offered nothing for about 75 minutes of the entirety of the 90. To be honest, we looked like the more dangerous throughout, but we couldn't seem to hit the target, which seems to be an ongoing issue. For the last, I'd say, 2 seasons, I think, I'll be honest, since post-Carlo, we just haven't seemed to have a committed goal scorer. We've missed the likes of Richarlison, James Rodriguez, Bernard. Players like that. We've missed them sorts of players who had a bit of flourish and flair and they knew where the net was. And that seems to be a bit of an ongoing thing now. So hopefully when Brozier comes in and Chimiti's back, we have a little bit more of an option there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Beto seems to be coming into it, but to be honest, the referees need to be a bit more, quicker with the dishing out of fouls on Beto, because every single game, and this is going to be an ongoing thing until the end of time, Beto just seems to keep getting manhandled, and why they keep getting away with it, I don't know. But yeah, both teams seem to be a bit toothless when it came to the attacking sides of it. Pickford did actually save us a couple of times with his rather wonderful stops and his great position and everything. He came into his own prime today, and we needed that. The likes of Bowen, Somerville, Antonio, they really tried with him today, and he really did step up to the mark. But yeah, it was good. It was good to see both Decore and Branthwaite in the starting 11 as well. Decore has come back from an injury, and he had a good little run in the first 10 minutes and kept both, I'll be honest, the entire squad kept both West Ham and their fan base rather quiet. Watching it, even in the highlights, you can tell that there's a bit of animosity in the air. The fans are really getting on the back of the players as well as the manager. They seem to be regretting giving Moyes the boot, because I think David Moyes, West Ham, would probably have overturned this Everton team quite well. But yeah, overall, our defence was solid for the most part, and our build-up play was a bit decent, if not a little bit slow at times. Our finishing in the final third was unacceptable. I understand why. It's mostly because Dom is being forced to play a role that is completely opposite to what was his bread and butter. Under Carlo, it was simple for Dom. It was bring it wide with some pace, so that being the likes of Luca Dean, Bernard, Richarlison, Rodriguez. They bring it up with a bit of pace, and from there, it was basically put in to the middle of the box, around by where the penalty area was, and someone was pretty much attracting attention away from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so that being the likes of Richarlison, Decore, Alan, James Rodriguez again. These guys would come into the box and they'd basically make themselves look like the threat and the option that they were going to go for, and pretty much, how can I put this? Pretty much divert the defence's attention away, and Dom would basically come up head and shoulders above everyone else and just pop it in nice and clean. This is something I've been looking at over the last couple of seasons with the videos and everything, and this just seems to be the one factor that seems to be standing out, in all honesty. But what can I say? Illiman and Dye, Garner, Decore and Mangala, they did really well in the midfield. I did feel Lindstrom he's still a little too light on his feet at the moment, and he gets beaten a bit too easily by the opposition, if you get where I'm coming from. I think with more game time, though, he will overcome this and he will adapt to be better to the league. But overall, he had a couple of good runs there. He was showing his pace and everything, and he was showing his ability. Sorry, I don't like this lighting a little bit. It's a bit too... There we go, that's probably a bit better. It was looking a bit bland from the camera's point of view, so sorry about that. But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like this squad can do so much better with the players it has. From the past few games, we seem to be towards the 70th minute mark. We seem to be starting to tire. around the 70th minute mark, and the manager, he doesn't seem to be all that keen on making wholesale changes. I am aware our injury list is pretty much a mile long at the moment. We've got the likes of Chimiti out, we've got the likes of Brozier out, we've got the likes of Irabernam out, Garner's out. We've got heaps of players out at the moment. Coleman's out as well. We've got about 5 or 6 on that injury list right now. But I mean, looking at that bench that we had right there, we had 2 goalkeepers, 3 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 forwards. Now, I am aware that one of the midfielders and one of the forward/strikers, they are in the classification of youngsters, that being the likes of Armstrong and the new lad that's come in. I can't even remember his name, I'm so sorry. But Callum Bates, that's it. So Callum Bates has actually been really giving the under-21 side a lot of gas in the tank. He's been absolutely running that top line up really well, and he has honestly earned that role on the bench there for the first team. So this would be an opportunity for him to sort of, get his senior boots sort of laced up and training with the first team and everything, getting warmed up with the first team, and potentially getting an opportunity with the first team. Apologies, I've got a bit of a cold. I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, and I've just felt me muscle twinge here. But yeah, it's how can I put this? Let's see. But it's beside the point. When players are looking tired, we need to make the changes. Like Ashley Young for Patterson, Dom for Beto, Takori for Harrison. And also, don't get me started on the starting 11, especially with the layout. The starting 11 layout. I mean, we're doing a 4-2-3-1 at the moment, and he seems to love doing this. Usually when it comes to Dyche, he likes to do a 4-4-2, but for the fact that we don't have an awful lot of strikers, we don't have about 3 or 4 strikers that he has in his main squad, that being, his typical, 11 and bench. He likes to go with this 4-2-3-1. This is his backup sort of formation rather than his starting formation. But yeah, the 4-2-3-1 itself is designed so that you can exploit your width. But when we use it, we try and use it in a compact sort of method. So Illiman and Dye and Lindstrom in this game, rather than them being hard on the wings and staying hard on the wings and having their defenders back them up fully, they were coming inside. This is mostly down to the fact that we don't really have the pace. Ashley Young is nearly 40. Mikolenko's not exactly pacey. It's not going to work in that regard. If you are going to do that, it's going to end up becoming quite a lopsided sort of 4-2-3-1. And pretty much most teams from there would just say, right, that right-hand side of Everton's, that's the slow part. That's the part. If they both go up, they're going to be missing a chunk of their defence. So we're going to exploit the hell out of that. Let them come up. We'll counter, exploit the right, and we've got an open opportunity on goal. That's how they're going to play it. So right now, it's like I said, it's designed to exploit your width. We try and use compact, and with us playing the whole one-dimensional punt upfield and punt it up to Dom and hope for the best, we're losing out on so much potential there when it comes to our midfield. We're basically skipping the entirety of that midfield, and rather than what Pickford should really be doing in that regard is ignoring Dyche's idea of, oh yeah, launch up to Dom, hope for the best. We need to be saying, right, put it up to Mangala, put it up to Decore, put it through to Idrissa Gueye, put it wide then. You got Lindstrom, you got Ndai, put it out wide to them, push it up to the box, bring it in. Tell Decore, let's say for argument's sake, once it's wide, Decore needs to come right up to that box alongside Dom, being right behind him, and then pushing that defence into the box and saying, right, I'm going to divert this defender here. Mangala's going to come up. He's going to divert this defender here. You should have a bit of space, operate with it. Ndai's going to either loft it in, or Lindstrom's going to loft it in. You get your head on it, or get a foot on it, get it in that fucking net. See ya. This is how I'd be going about it myself. If I was a manager, which I'm not. I don't like that. There we go, that's a bit better. But yeah, for me, final words of this match, this game just shows that we don't seem to be playing for the wins. We're in damage control and 99% of the teams can see this. They can read us like a completely open book. With this international break, I feel Dyche needs to seriously rethink his tactics and his general lineups, especially with the lads coming back from injury, because he needs to try and secure his job till the end of the season. Because there's only so long before the fan base ends up turning around and saying, you know what, screw you, don't dare come back to Goodison. This is meant to be your final season at Goodison. We're meant to be going from here to here. We're meant to be going from Goodison to Bramley-Moore, and we're meant to be doing it in a style that fits Everton and its mantra. We used to be a never say die sort of team where every single player, all the way from the keeper to everyone on the bench, every single player, I mean the likes of bloody Neville Southall, the likes of bloody Big Dunk, Tim Cahill, they wore this badge with pride. They played their absolute socks off. Now, don't get me wrong, there are players who are doing that. Seamus Coleman absolutely loves the bones this club and will die for this club. Quite a few of the other players would as well. But the manager doesn't seem to be portraying that to them. He needs to seriously rethink this. He needs to say to them, right, I'm easing off when it comes to the training. We're not doing these stupid manager days where I'm throwing you off the top rope and playing fucking WWE with you and getting you injured and getting you knackered for games. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to work on tactics. We're going to try and fix issues that we can see in the squad that everyone all 92 teams from the bloody Premier League right the way down to the National League can read us like an open book, and we need to fix that. We need to make ourselves a more unpredictable team, and we're never going to do it with Dyche at the helm. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. So I need him to prove us as a fan base wrong. But in any case, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I am so sorry that this one's been a bit of a negative Nancy sort of video. Like I said, I'm a bit under weather at the moment. This bloody cold is absolutely kicking my ass, and I just am so sick to the back of my fucking teeth of the negative football that is coming out of this football club. We need to sort it out severely before we do end up in a relegation fight again. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is what Sean Dyche is. He is a relegation dogfight manager. He thrives on this for some reason, and he will always keep a team in the league. Well, 9 times out of 10, he will keep a team in the league, but how long before that style doesn't work anymore? How long before Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester, they end up turning around going, actually, we know how they play. As long as we keep ourselves a couple of points above them, we're sound. How long before they just start doing that? Seriously. I mean, like I said, we've got an international break now. Next game is Brentford at home. That is a game I am not looking forward to because Brentford's actually doing reasonably well at the moment. They've got themselves a nice talented squad who know how to play the basics down to a T. They play as a unit, so we are definitely going to have a good run out on our hands, and hopefully we've got a couple of players back. But in any case, guys, again, for the final time this season, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Bear in mind, this is a clean sheet and we didn't lose, so hey, big positive. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Take care and up the fucking toffees and peace.